Welcome to The Road Less Traveled with Tiffany Rosenbaum. This podcast is about sharing the success and failure of entrepreneurs. Join in and learn from others' mistakes so you don't have to go through the same hardships in business. Now let's welcome your host, business coach, real estate investor, and proud wife and mom, Tiffany Rosenbaum.
Well, thank you, Thomas, today for being on our podcast. We're really excited to have you. The podcast is we want to talk about the entrepreneurial journey. So I'd love to hear your story and kind of start from there. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, certainly. My name's Thomas Patrick Klein, small business owner, real estate investor. Kind of made my bones rehabbing my father's landscaping business. After school, it was my father and a guy. Came back, was going to go sell life insurance, had a couple months to kill until that happened. They were setting up the office. My father's just been a sole operator with him every season, new person. He just said, oh, just answer an email, answer the phone call while he was out doing the work. So I thought, what can it hurt? Wake up, answer the phone. And he thought, after the first day, after the second day, oh, I can focus on my work while you answer the phone, you do the email, and I'll ask a simple question. How do you invoice people? Oh, on a scratch piece of paper. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And okay, well, how do you do your taxes? Well, it's in my notebook. And do you have a website? It's just what I learned in school are just basic business principles. Some of these small business owners around the country just don't have the basic things needed to run a business. So long story short, the next week when I got business cards, honestly, just set up a logo, website, everything. And we grew, I guess, a small landscaping company. It's something pretty powerful in our small little town. And that kind of spun into everything else. But
That's awesome. Now, the landscaping business is not an easy business. I own a maintenance and we deal with a lot of landscaping, and it's not an easy business. So when you went in, how old were you when you helped your dad revamp the landscaping business?
so I was 22. So right out of school, I took a victory lap, we could call it. But yeah, I went to school in Charlotte and just, again, came home for a few months, and it was kind of an accident. I just happened to be there, went on a little trip. Um, and that's what's funny is I never was a fan of landscaping. I'd have to help him in the summers, move mulch, cut grass. And I don't like the outdoors too much. I think it's too hard to work out in the summer. So I wanted to stay as far away from it as I could. But when it kind of showed, again, this is my father for fun. He's out in the yard, planting, landscaping, doing rock work. This is just all he's done his whole life. But when I saw the opportunity that I could stay inside, just run an office instead of going to have to learn from someone, I thought I was capable, right? Young, the world hasn't beat me down yet. I saw that I could, I guess, run a business, even though like the product was landscaping, I didn't have to touch it. And then I thought, oh, well, we got something here. You have the product. I just have to make people see it. And that was kind of what it was.
You know what I love you said in there? You didn't say the words, but every day you came in, you found a problem. You asked a question. Hey, how do you do this? Oh, we can do this better. Isn't that the life of an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur has to go into business every single day and figure out where the problems are and make it better. So are you still in that business today?
Yeah. So that's, we've, what's been nice about it, we kind of built such a strong listing and brands in that town. I just have to maintain it. So I'm still co-owner of the business, still help found it. But as long as people are calling us and we have our people in place, we have a crew of about 9 at the moment. As long as everything's working, I just handle the fires. It kind of runs itself. And yeah, I mean, this has allowed me to, again, I've been fortunate to travel, get into real estate, do the things that I more enjoy. Again, still the landscaping is just something that has allowed me to get into things I care more about. But yeah, no, there were just so many problems with, I guess, the quote unquote, the business. And again, I feel most small business owners around the country just operate the way they know, and they just don't look up to see, wow, do I have a website? Do I have just the basic necessities to make anything work? But when you're in it, you just don't realize.
No, 100%. You said you had 9 workers. Is that out in the field or is that including the office staff?
So right now, 'cause this is, I guess, peak season, we have about 7 in the field, 1.5 in the office. So we have like a full-time office staff member now, and then a virtual assistant to just help with any kind of like medial tasks. So just inputting information, helping send invoices, this and this. And then, yeah, I just fill the role of if a problem occurs, I'm there. But yeah, once you kind of get the momentum running and you can pay well enough to get someone in place, again, you just have to make sure it's working. But again, as an entrepreneur, things happen, but you hope years into it, the problems don't happen as much.
100%. I love that you brought up the virtual assistant. We call ours RTMs, but what has that done for your business to hire someone overseas, I'm guessing, or is it in-state virtual?
Overseas, it's just again, if we're fortunate to live in the U.S. dollar goes far in most places. Um, so we recently made a change. We did have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and that worked quite well for a while. Recently made a change to Latin America. This new project I'm working on just had more access to talented people, and we kind of did a little pivot. Um, but yeah, virtual assistants. I wish I would have known about them a little earlier because it would have saved me doing a lot of tasks that I just didn't need to do. But
What's great about this is virtual assistants are very knowledgeable. They're very smart. They can help out with a lot of things. And it's a win-win. It saves you money, but they get paid more than they would if they had a job in their country. So have you found that your virtual assistant has helped you scale the business at all, or what do they do?
now, so we have someone. I guess our office manager is the one that handles the phone calls. We've tried having call centers. So even throughout the years, going back to, I stopped taking the phone calls probably in 20. I guess I did it for a couple of years, and we just found, funny enough, again, being in a family business, uh, my mother's retired friend just wanted something to do. So she would check the phone. We didn't even pick up live calls because we were honestly getting too much work for the crew we had. Would just answer voicemails twice a day. And that worked with us for, I mean, a handful of years until we recently had someone come on and needed to grow the business. Um, we found it was better to have someone in the US answer the phone calls. The people that want the services want to hear that American accent or whatever it may be. It just they feel more comfortable. But once that process moves past, we get the initial intake, the process to remind people an appointment's coming up, an invoice is due soon. Like if there's anything needed to input materials or order materials, we can have a virtual assistant do that with the help of the office manager. So it's really just he becomes a more qualified individual having this office assistant just be there for him.
100%. You said accent, and I totally agree. And I love that you talked about how you pivoted. I feel like every country, as I've hired 35, every country actually is better for a certain role, I find. Like Filipinos, my whole entire accounting staff are Filipinos except for my controller here on Boots on the Ground. But one thing you said was that the accent. I went with a new recruiter around the world, and they have found me people in Latin America that have residency here in the United States and have lived here for 20 years and speak better than I do. So I can definitely connect you, but it definitely is so interesting that ever since COVID, or but really before COVID, that we become a worldwide recruiting system. Like you really can hire someone anywhere over the world and they can help you.
No, I mean, the biggest thing that kind of, because before we were using like a service that would kind of like place someone. Again, we liked having someone above that in case something happened. They could fill the role. If someone was sick, they would handle it. But finding Upwork and just having access to literally any single person, I mean, you can pick the countries. You can get even more particular with it's Upwork has been just I mean, fantastic in all aspects of things. But yeah, no, it's been nice to see kind of the pivot. If you think of again landscaping, you have a certain stereotype to the people that might be working, so it's more comfortable. People, okay, if it's not an American accent, okay, well, Latin America, people feel more comfortable. So we've seen the different dialects matter in the different businesses. But again, that's for landscaping, could be different for real estate, whatever it may be. But
No, I agree. It does
right.
matter. It definitely does matter. What are some struggles that you have found when hiring, when building a business? What was the number one struggle in hiring your team?
Um,
I love that you laugh because I didn't.
it, it would just again like now I do think kind of post lockdown as the world's opened up is what people need to be paid at this time. If you would have told me what we would have to start people at today, as opposed to 2, 3 years ago, it's blown my mind. I mean, what we thought was an absolute cap, non-negotiable, can't go past this number. We're almost close to that just to get someone to, to just work with us in any capacity. We have a certain standard because we brand ourselves as a premium landscaping an outdoor living company. But also just things have changed. People have leverage, and getting comfortable with having to pay to make it all work has been surprising in a good and bad way. But
No, I totally agree with you. That has been inflation has hit businesses harder than anything. Now, being in Baltimore, correct? How much does it snow during the winter?
oh, here, so I guess, and to fill in more details, so the landscaping company operates still in Western North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So there, I mean, maybe you'll get a handful of days where you can't work. Honestly, it's the rain that gets us. We're just really fortunate for whatever reason we can operate. I would say 90% of the year. I mean, some days it might just be cold, and again, if it's frigid or it's way too hot, well, I mean, we're humans. We want to make sure everyone's comfortable. But honestly, no, we're in a, I guess that kind of middle of the country just works out well for the work we do.
And you said by being an entrepreneur, it's allowed you to do other things. What is being an entrepreneur? What has it allowed you to do?
I live life on my schedule. I kind of took this principle of reverse retirement. So I've done a lot of traveling to this point, and to like kind of with the winters, we would be able to take 2 or 3 months off. So I've been fortunate to get my passport stamped, do a few things, and just try different businesses, try new things, but really just live in multiple places, experience multiple things. So I don't have to, like punch in a clock, work 30 years to just at 55, 60. Oh, I get to enjoy my life. Well, my body might not work by then. I want to do it now. So really it's been the travel and ease of seeing people when I want to see them and working when I want to work.
Okay, so it's allowed you to also start other businesses, it sounds like. What other businesses have you started?
So the one that's worked out well, we got into the real estate investment space. So really just piggybacking off the landscaping business was doing well. We had the income to show that, hey, like we're a legitimate business. We're gonna branch off into real estate. We've been able to fix and flip 5 houses. So we do, I would say, 2 houses a year. So we're not doing big things, but for our small little team, they need something to do in the winter. We'll do real estate. We have a couple rentals, so Airbnb management. Again, we now have kind of a service that takes care of all of that. Dabbled into selling cars. That was not the best choice in the world. Got away from that, and just different things. I've tried to sell T-shirts and products and just anything you can think of. I've just wanted to try. I want to try all things and kind of to see what works. The latest venture is running an international nonprofit based on animal rescue, and that's been something. That's been quite the challenge.
Amazing. I want to talk about that, but before we go into that, I want to talk about the cars because you said one that did not work out. And I think people look at entrepreneurs and go, oh, it's easy for you. I'd actually like to dive into the car business a little bit, see what happened, and show people sometimes we do shut down businesses that aren't working and just continue to go. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, and it took years to kind of like have it click my brain what makes sense, what makes a business work. With to kind of go back to the real or the landscaping side of things. My father is an expert in that field. He just needed assistance to see it from a different perspective and just like pick up where I guess he faltered in, just running the business side of things, answering the phone, emails, just being formal. When we pivoted to real estate, again, like he's a very handy person. The people on our crew are very handy. They're carpenters, they're masons, like things made sense. In the car business, I assumed, okay, I've made a connection. They got direct trade-ins from a dealership. They look fine. They drove kind of fine. And I thought, oh, if something's wrong, it's not the big of a deal. Go to the mechanic and it's all fine. To then realize I didn't have anyone on my team that was even remotely capable of fixing the cars, that I thought best case, few $100. Well, that $2,000 car, I spent, I mean, half of that or more on getting any kind of repair and any capacity done. And at that point, when you buy 12 cars in the span of 2 months, you just got a lot of things. I got in trouble by the state. It's just you have to do things that you have a team or a network to help you with. Because trying to figure it out on the fly when you have all this money invested, it just doesn't work. I mean, that was not a fun couple of years.
It doesn't sound like it, but what you said in there without truly saying it is like you need people around you that are smarter than us. I mean, that's what's key about entrepreneurship is finding the right people to sit in the right seats. It sounds like you did that in every other business except for the cars, which I mean, I've had that experience. It's like, oh crap, I have no clue what I'm doing. But learning from it. So you do flips as well. Do you still do that every year then?
So we haven't flipped something in just over a year. We recently had a partner, I guess a good friend's kind of high end real estate investor buy into our landscaping business. So we've maintained it. It's kind of after college, we got it to a certain level, and we've just kind of ridden high. From when I started to the first year and a half, we tripled the business. Again, just doing very basic things. We're now adding this new person on to then try to triple the business. Not try, we will triple the business again
Like
to
it.
then sell. We do think the state of the economy, things could, like turn on a dime. We want to get to a certain place and unload the business, get into something else. Same with the real estate. We're just unsure of what's going to happen. We don't want to get into something, kind of getting into these loans too, leveraging a business to get a high interest loan with hard money. It's just a scary thought at the moment. The market's not frothy enough to just, oh, it's good enough, nice location, it'll sell. Not anymore. So
Yeah, you gotta know like the area. I think a lot of people, especially in real estate, they'll just run numbers, but they don't know the area. And if you don't know the area, you can get in trouble really quick in real estate. I mean, and it doesn't just sell. It has to be a good area, or you're gonna struggle, and it has to be a certain price point. Um, Now, it's when you first said about the Animal Alliance. I mean, you could see your eyes light up. You smile. It sounds like you have a true passion for what's going behind this. What's going on a little bit? Tell us about that.
so again, it's learning through this process as well. So again, if I've been fortunate to be in a place where the business does well enough to where I can consistently pay myself or step into other ventures, well, I want to be open to that. This has been a project I've had in mind since I was a child. Growing up in the South, we were kind of near the Tennessee border, and from I guess the time I can remember, my parents would bring in foster dogs, mama dogs, and puppies. And at the time, I didn't understand if I went into the kitchen, dogs, bathroom, there were dogs all over our house. We had a small little house, and it was just frustrating. I didn't understand. They said if we don't take the dogs, we're dead. And I have an appreciation for animals. I love animals, dogs in particular. But I didn't get into I started to kind of age that if we hadn't taken those animals in, they would be put down. Whether it's puppies, a beautiful purebred dog, it didn't matter. 3 days, it's a high kill shelter. It was done. So I made a commitment to myself when I was young. If I could do something about this, I would. The business has allowed me to fund this nonprofit for kind of the first 12 months because raising money is not fun. It's a challenging thing. It's been different because people don't need us. They don't need to just give us their money. They don't need to give it to a young nonprofit that sends money internationally to Latin America, something that is important to me, but to my neighbor, it's probably not. In the business world, you need things. You need a place to live. You need a rental. You need your outdoor patio. It's been very different, very humbling.
So, where are you in the venture of this? You're in the venture of, at this point, you're in the raising funds part. Is that what it is?
So funny enough, we actually launched our first fundraising campaign today.
Congrats.
Prior, no, thank you. It's been a long time coming. Even in that we're on our fourth edition of the website, our third person running social media, kind of honing in on what makes sense. Again, I'm stubborn enough to try to I want to do it myself, to then just be so humble to where I have no idea what I'm doing. It's not working. And again, just running a nonprofit and running a business is so different. I thought it was going to be, I go in and start a business, get insurance the next day. And honestly, by the end of the week, I could be selling consulting service or whatever it is. This is just so different. Um, but we're in the, I'm trying to not lose money every month, making this stay alive phase. So it's the most optimistic I have been. We've made more progress in the last 6 weeks than we had in the last 12 months.
So, what are you trying to raise right now? How much money?
We're trying to raise $500. We have actually a few partners. We have a partner outside of San Salvador, El Salvador, in Merida, Mexico, and in Holbox, Isla Holbox, kind of above Cancun on the kind of Caribbean. We're raising money for a puppy that was hit by a car. And again, the cost of services, everything there is quite a lot. And for these animal rescues, whether it's there, any place in the world, they always struggle with money, resources, and people. And if we can just bring attention to these rescues that need the help, that have the infrastructure, I can bypass 20 years of having to be on the ground, building a rescue, building a brand, doing all of this. I'm just trying to shed light on this rescue in El Salvador has a problem. I'm trying to help fix it. Just give them money so they can do what they do. And whether it's in the country, any other place I've been, same problem, money, money, money. So yeah, attention and money.
It's attention and money. So what's the goal for the next 5 years for this Animal Alliance of the Americas?
Oh, we're going to be in every community in the entire world. So it's just our focus is spay and neuter. We feel that most rescues, again, start off, we just want to help. And whether it's spay and neuter, whatever it may be, it always comes down to if a hurt animal comes in, they have to address that. If people drop off an animal to not kill them, they have to house them and board them. They always kind of disregard the focus of spay neuter. Spay neuter will actually stop the problem of having too many animals on this planet that are put down every single day because there are too many. So we're trying to in every community to reprioritize spay and neuter services so we can get the overpopulation, crisis under control. Again, with a focus on Latin America, I'm fond of it. I have family there. I want to live there for most of the year, so we got to focus there first to just kind of make this problem go away.
Well, in Latin America, I know myself because I lived there for a while and I've visited multiple times. That's it's a horrible issue down there. Like there's strays everywhere, and there's always issues with dogs. And I think it's commendable what you're doing. I'd like to shift just a tad with all the businesses. It sounds like you've done a lot of businesses. I'd like to talk about metrics a little bit because I find that in entrepreneurs, when they first start out, that's the biggest issue they have. So, what are some metrics that you measure in your businesses to make sure that, first of all, you know your numbers, second of all, that you're successful in it?
Um, See the metrics. It's where too I believe in. I we all have to play to our strengths. So early on in doing this business, I didn't enjoy kind of running the numbers on how this has to work. That hiring a bookkeeper to do this for you, paying a nominal hourly rate, just made more sense. Um, we didn't even need to dive too deep into it because we pivoted pretty early to where the business started off. My father had Groupon ads. He was paying for, leads on Angie's List, doing just things that never made sense that he was kind of like a low to middle end company, barely scraping by, had to be busy to make anything work. That we just quickly pivoted to being more medium tier premium, again, just with branding, to where the money wasn't as big of an issue. Really, the metrics came down to do we have work? Again, we would always try to have at least 6 to 8 weeks worth of work ahead of us. So I guess my father, just doing it for decades, knew, okay, my price at this point, I've done it long enough. I kind of know we're going to make money. The biggest thing that gave us trust tonight, do we have work next week? Do we have work a month out? Because when we employ these people, I mean, they need to take care of themselves, their family, and that's what keeps people around is when they know I just have to show up, do this. A lot of people don't want to deal with, wow, I have to do a call at 10 o'clock at night. Do we have a project lined up? Did this fall through? Is something going to happen? It's really just, do we have work in the pipeline? That is, in my opinion, the most important thing possible. Again, you assume you have a team that makes sure the numbers and you're making money on X, Y, and Z, but do you have a pipeline that is full and is optimistic for what?
Sales is the lifeline of a business, right? Do y'all track how many jobs come in every day or every week or every month?
At least in this kind of field, it's just a job could be 3 days or it could be 3 months. It's just things. We had a government job a couple years back. It lasted nearly the year. So that job kind of floated our company for most of the time. We did some small things, but it's been very fickle. This new iteration of our company has, I mean, now we have all the books, P&L's updated. That's the next layer of having, again, another high level person come in to take us to the next level. We just, again, we were better than where we were year one. And then it was like, oh, we're good enough. Again, like with regard to our competition, whether it's the right way to look at it or not, we were one of the better companies in our town. That was good enough. If we went to the next major city, we might have had to step up our game. But for the life we wanted, we were doing a good enough job. We had jobs, we were making money. It kind of worked out.
What you said is you leveled up your people, it sounded like. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
what would you tell to a new entrepreneur to try to get the right people in the right seat so they can level up faster? Because a lot of times, I did it too. Every entrepreneur that I've talked, a lot of times we hire a generalist, someone that does a lot of things. How do you think an entrepreneur can lessen that road to the right people? How can we get someone in faster? Not a generalist, but a specialist.
that, I guess, just kind of build a solid product or service. Again, people will eventually find you. Um, but I guess it comes down to you just have to hyper specialize in what you're looking for. So if I want a bookkeeper, well, this person needs to be doing better financially, like than myself. You may pay premium for it, but again, I don't want to seek financial advice from someone who's in a lesser position. If I want someone who specializes in doing carpentry, whatever it may be, they better be an expert. They better have something that they're already doing. And we found acquiring people with talent that just didn't want to deal with being an entrepreneur made more sense for us. So we've more acquired people that already have something going on. They still want to deal with the stress and the worry of having their own business. We had to pay for it, but we've honestly just, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We just tried to acquire people that had talent, and it's worked well for us so far.
I love that you said that because if you've read the Amazon book, but their story, when they came into the market, they actually went over to Walmart and took their executives and brought them out because they knew, and they went there and they acquired people, then all of a sudden that their company would exponentially grow faster because the people have already done it, right? So what you said, I love what you said, is have someone that already has something going on, that they are the expert. I'm not the expert in it, but they're the expert in that position. I think that levels up a lot faster. I love that you said that. Where can people find you, Thomas? Like, how do they help out with the Animal Alliance? How do they find your landscaping company?
So this new venture in life has been building a personal brand. I've seen, again, you can build a business, and again, it'll take you certain places, but if you can build your brand and your name, well, then anything you start from then on, it's much easier. I have a website now, thomaspklein.com. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. I have a link tree just set up a couple weeks ago, has all this side. So just kind of tapping into what people do now. Again, like I was very adamant I didn't want to engage in like the online world and building a brand, doing any of this. It's just not possible. Or again, the biggest venture now is the animalliance.org for the landscaping company, naturalscapesasheville.com. Pretty proud of the website we built. It's quite user friendly. Beautiful drawing video of projects we've done. Yeah, just get on Google.
I I like it. What would you say to a brand new entrepreneur that is struggling?
And this might sound funny. Stop listening to people. Stop seeking advice. Stop thinking you need a course. Stop. Just if you have any self-aware like knowledge in your brain, if you think you're competent in any capacity, just listen to yourself. You are right. You need to have confidence that you are right. That you don't need to be sold something. You don't need to be told something. You know how life should work. If you know if you're starting a plumbing company and if you move to a new city, what do? You get on Google, you look at reviews. Okay, go into that lane, do what you know works. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just do what makes sense. So honestly, it would be just stop listening to people, trust yourself, and find people that are better at doing X than you and try to become friends with them and see what happens.
So networking and massive action. Make sure that you have the right people and massive action. That's what I hear. I love it.
Yeah.
Thomas, I love your story and I appreciate you coming on today and all the advice you gave. I hope someone will listen to it and understand what you said. Massive action is key to success in entrepreneurship. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. Thanks for the time. I've been tracking your rise in your own personal brands. I mean, it's something. It's happening quick, but whoever you got working in the background, they're doing quite a good job. I mean, the microphone, the brands, it's people are watching. It's cool to say.
Well, I appreciate it. I give credit to my team. I could not do what I do without them. Like my marketing director, she's amazing. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without her. She sets it up. I would be dumbfounded, like you said. Hire the experience and hire the experts, and you'll go somewhere. And yes, she has taken my brand up the next level. We've grown from 1,200 to 37,000 in the last 2 months. So we're working it. But like you said, the personal brand is the first step, and then the businesses kind of go off from that. So I totally agree with you. I think it's commendable what you're doing. I really appreciate you, Thomas.
Yeah, no. Thanks for the time. Yeah, and we'll just keep in touch and see what happens.
Definitely. And yeah, send us an email. I'd love to understand a little bit more about the Animal Alliance.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, any help that can be done. Again, the US dollar goes real far in Latin America and honestly, most countries outside of our borders. So there's help needed all over the place.
It does, 100%. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in today to The Road Less Traveled. If you're organizing an event, workshop, or simply planning something exciting and would like to have Tiffany Rosenbaum join you or want to have her on your podcast, visit TiffanyMRosenbaum.com and click on Book Tiffany to get started.